guys, it's Jack back again for another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I got requested quite some time ago. I do apologize for not doing it sooner. But today's video is going to be on the Belvedere versus the Cap Vert. So these are two of Goyard's, I would say, most popular crossbody bags. And today I'm going to be kind of battling them off to see which bag wins and which is my favorite. But spoiler alert, I like them both because I have them both. So this one is called the Cap Vert. Technically it's Cap Vert 2. I'm not sure what the difference is between the first version and the second version, but it's called the Cap Vert 2 PM. And then this is Belvadier PM. Now this is the third version of the Belvedere. And I went over the differences between 1, 2, and now 3 in my Belvedere review. So I'll link that one down below so you can understand the differences and get to know this bag a little further in depth. So we'll start with kind of the overall measurements as well as the price points, and then I'll get into what they fit and kind of my detail overview about both of them. So the main difference I would say would be the strap length. So on the Cap Vert, the strap drop is between 47.5 and 52 centimeters. So that's the actual drop of the strap. And on the Belvedere, it's going to be anywhere between 54 to 60 centimeters. So that was my measurement. I think it's pretty accurate though, because the the Cap Vert rather, is a much shorter strap. The Cap Vert measures 22 centimeters across, 6.5 deep, and then 13 high. While the Belvedere measures as well 22 centimeters across, 7 centimeters in depth, and 16 high. So this one, the volume is a little bit bigger technically, but we're gonna get into the differences in a moment, and it may actually surprise you. Belvedere PM here in the US retails for $31.10, and then the Cap Vert retails for $26.70. So Belvedere is going to be $440 more, but I'll show you why as well in just a moment. I think you'll be able to understand that difference. So overall, we'll get started with the Belvedere. I know I've made a video on this, but I'll give you kind of an overview of the bag just in case you didn't watch that video. So this is going to be a flap style crossbody bag made out of Goyardine canvas with a grained leather trim. So that's kind of the overall. It does have a back pocket, and then this bag is also lined with the saffron color canvas on the inside, but there is a back pocket here. The strap also does kind of go across the bottom here, so that's one of the design details. And technically you could pull it through if you wanted. I don't know why you would, but that's just how the bag is overall designed. And then in the front here, you have Goyard Paris engraved in the palladium hardware. And then it's just a super easy pull tab, and then you open it up. You do have the grained leather here on the top of the flap as well. And then on the inside, you have a back wall pocket and then 2 patch pockets on the front. I believe this one, wonder if I can get the date for you guys. Okay, that took me a while to find, but the date code on this piece is 2022. So I've had it for a while now. I've definitely used it for a lot of different occasions. I took this on a few trips, but yeah, 2022. I just wanted to let you guys know so you could kind of get an idea for wear and tear. I mean, I do switch out my bags pretty frequently, but I have had this for a little while. So yeah, that'll be the overview. The date code, in case you were wondering, is on one of the edges of the pocket. It is hard to see because it's the grained leather, so it's always going to be stamped inside that leather. And with the grain, it is a little bit hard to see. But anyways, you'll tuck the flap on here to close it. And then it's pretty secure, easy closure. Adjustable strap as well. And then I love this little detail on the back of the hardware. It's engraved Goyard Paris there. The strap adjustment, you do have 7 holes to adjust it. I did add 2 from my local cobbler. So I did add that because I felt the strap for me was a little bit long. So I did have them add it. I don't know if you're supposed to. I don't know if the brand would be happy that I did that. Maybe. I don't even know if it would be considered something that can be repaired now because I did alter the bag. But for me, it was worth it. I used this last hole quite frequently because, again, it's pretty long on me, which is nice for some people, but for me, I prefer like a higher up crossbody. So, getting into the Cap Vert, this is kind of your classic camera bag style bag. It is a smooth leather, and then of course the Goyardine canvas. You do get a front pocket here, which is super convenient for a phone or even something like a passport. If you're traveling, it's like super easy to just throw stuff in and go. And then you do have a zip closure on this one, which is really nice. Of course, the Belvadier has the flap, but this one is really nice that it actually has the zipper. And then I always love Goyard's zipper pulls. So they're the G little circular logo there. And then once we get into the bag, inside it's just gonna be pretty plain here. Ooh, it is a little dirty. It's a little bit of fuzz in here. But it is a camera bag style, so super open in there. And then we have the back pocket here. So then you can throw some things inside. I'm gonna find the date code now for you guys as well. Let me look here. Okay. So it's going to be on this pocket on the inside here. Mine is a 2024 code. So I haven't had this for as long. Although that being said, I had this bag and then I sold it before because I wasn't wearing it at the time, but then I bought it back. So I guess that shows you how much I like it. It does also have an adjustable strap, and then this one's gonna be quite a bit shorter than the Belvedere. So this is still gonna be a crossbody, but it's going to be a higher crossbody. And then for me, this is also more comfortable as a single shoulder as well. So if you like to wear your crossbodies across, but then maybe sometimes you get tired and you want to just sling it over one shoulder, this would be definitely the one to go with, while the Belvedere is going to be pretty long, so you're probably going to want to wear it mostly as a crossbody. Let's go over what fits inside, because I can show you all how I pack it and show you how, you know, I kind of use it on the day-to-day. So with this one, you'll zip it open, and then I'm just gonna put my essentials in. So I have my Synap Mini, I have my Hermes Calvi card holder, put that in. I have my AirPods with my Sasam keychain, hand sanitizer, I have my keys, I try to be pretty good about packing this one because it is kind of an empty rectangle, so you kind of want to like stack your things, if that makes sense. I'll show you in a moment. I have my gum, I have my tissues, and then just for fun we'll put my sunglasses in here as well. Okay, so that's with everything in. I still feel that there is some like suppleness here, so there is some room to work with if you needed to add a few extra things. Sometimes I'll add like a reusable bag, a bagoo, and they fold up into a little square, so that'll fit easily inside. I have the sunglasses right now on top, but I probably could tuck it in a little bit better, or maybe even I could throw it on the outside pocket if I needed. But that's gonna be the items. I'm gonna take the tissues out just so it's easier to see. But that's gonna be the items on the inside. So you'll see I kind of did it in rows. I think that's the best way to pack this bag, to get the most out of it. But this one fits quite a bit. I kind of feel like it fits more than the Belvedere, but now I'll show you how I packed that one. So, back to the Belvedere. The external pocket, unlike the Cap Vert, is pretty flat. So I have an iPhone Air and I don't use a case. I can throw that inside, but anything kind of bigger or a phone with a case, I wouldn't recommend putting in here. Maybe you could, but I feel like it would stretch it out. On the Cap Vert, that outside pocket is super convenient for even larger items. So if we open it up, again, you'll see the two front pockets, and then you have that back slip pocket here. So what I like to do is fill in the main compartment first, and then I'll use these two pockets. I go back and forth with how I feel about the pockets. It is nice because it gives you a place to kind of organize, but honestly, I feel like if it didn't have those two pockets on the inside, I would fit like way more inside, because sometimes I feel this one is a little more limiting. So again, you saw how it fits in the Cap Vert. I'll put up a picture here so we can kind of like feel like there's a side to side there. But if we put in that Sonat Mini, it's already taking up quite a bit of the bag, so you have to be pretty strategic with how you pack it. Then we'll do the hand sanitizer on the edge here. Then we'll do my gum. Put that in. Then we can throw the AirPods on top on this one. And then this is where I like to put items with a little more bulk on the pockets now. So my Calvi would go in here, kind of standing up like that. And then the keys would go in the other pocket, but we gotta kind of finagle it a little bit. Okay. So that's the Belvedere fully loaded. You can see the actual main compartment is a lot more slim, and then we're using these two pockets for quick access items. So while it does fit technically the same amount, it's just going to feel a little more cramped. But that being said, if I need to access something, it is pretty easy. Like for example, my wallet comes out really nicely, and then also my keys, if I need to just grab those, it's pretty quick and easy to get it out. That is the nice thing about having those two front pockets, is you have kind of two items that you can access super easily, whether that's like a car key, AirPods, or a wallet or keys. So that's how the Belvedere packs. Closes super easily. You could probably put something on top. I don't know how big you would want to go though with the item, because you do have the flap and then there's no zip or, you know, full closure. So you can kind of see it at the side. So if it's something that can fall out, I don't know that I would recommend putting anything on top of the items that we already put inside, but something just to note. I will also show you all, so if we take out the main compartment items, so which would be the Sonat Mini, the AirPod keys and gum, and hand sanitizer, we can put in a Sonat PM, and that takes up the whole back wall of the bag. So if you want to have something for quick access that you can just take out super quickly and easily, then you could use a Sonat PM, and then it closes super easily, and then you can just fill that up with everything you need. So that's kind of an alternative, and then you don't have to worry about anything falling out. So if you have smaller items, like a bobby pin or things like that, that you don't want coming out, I would suggest using pouches for this. So definitely something you could try. So now we'll get into the main differences and advantages and disadvantages. So I had the Cap Vert first. That was my first Goyard crossbody bag, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing is I was getting some corner wear on the bag. So I don't know what happened. I haven't gotten it on this bag at all, and I haven't noticed any corner wear. Like literally none at all. But I was getting some wear on these leather corners, and it was really bothering me. So I decided to sell my Cap Vert and then buy the Belvadier instead. So that's what initially prompted my purchase of this bag. And I love this one. It has the grained leather, which I feel like gives it definitely a super luxe feel. And then it's a flat bag too, which I love the style of a flap. I just think it's a little more, I don't know, a little more fashionable. But I was still wanting the Cap Vert because I love the zipper closure. And I love the fact you can just grab it, go. I think it's a little easier to pack just because it's one single compartment. But my biggest disadvantage of the Cap Vert, again, I had some corner wear, but I don't have it on this bag, so maybe that's something that was more of a user error. But the only thing that I kind of am a little still worried about this bag is it is the smooth leather. So that being said, when you unzip it and reach to grab in it, you're kind of creasing the leather every time. So over time, you can get creasing on the leather here. It bothers some people don't care. I'm one that I care a lot about the details, and so that is something that I do keep in mind with this bag. That being said, the reason I rebought it is because I just love the way I can pack it so easily. It's a one and done compartment, and then you have the exterior pocket as well, which I still have the sunglasses in. But this is just easy to use. Also, the strap is shorter, which I love because I feel like it hits me perfectly as just an everyday crossbody. I feel like it looks also a little more casual and a little more sporty, which I like the look of. It's something that I don't necessarily have in other bags in my collection. So I'm glad I bought this, and I'm glad I rebought it because it was something where even though I had the Belvedere, I still wanted this one. Now that being said, in my opinion, out of the two, I can see why the Belvedere is more expensive. I feel like it does give a more luxe feel. You can see just the design of it is a little more unique. I think a lot of brands have a camera bag, and this is something where you don't see it in every brand. I also think the grained leather is really nice. The older Belvedere style, I believe it was number 2. I go over it in my other video, but I believe it's number 2. It had a smooth leather, but they switched to this grained leather, and I think it's nicer because you don't get that creasing issue. So to me, that's a very luxe feature, is that you have the grained leather. You don't have to worry about as much wear and tear. But I would say the main disadvantages for me are the longer strap length. And then again, these 2 pockets. I feel like if these weren't here, I could fit like quite a bit more inside. So that's overall what I think of the two. Which one would I recommend to people? Really, it does vary. I know that's not the best answer, but I think they're 2 different styles. I'm glad I have both in my collection. I don't think I would get rid of either, to be honest with you. I think they serve a little bit different purposes. Like I'll wear this one when I want to be a little more sporty and a little more casual. And then I'll wear the Belvedere usually, maybe on like a nicer occasion. I also sometimes will end up doubling the strap. And you can put the strap obviously under the flap and carry it as like a little bag or a shoulder bag. So I'll do that sometimes. To me, this just gives a little more formal of a look, but I like both of them. So honestly, I recommend both. They both will carry your daily essentials. They both look good doing it. It's just really more, what is your style? Do you like something a little more different and a little more formal looking, or do you like something casual, sporty, camera bag style? So that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.